Hey guys, and welcome back to Mike Reed's Katawa Shoujo. I'm just gonna call it Katawa Shoujo. These episodes are gonna be slightly shorter. The reason being is I have to get 2 weeks worth of recording because next Tuesday, and besides today being my birthday, next Tuesday I'm having back surgery done. So these are gonna be more like 15-minute episodes for like the next 2 or 3. So just please bear with me, and sorry they're shorter. But, you know, you're getting 2 weeks worth of videos, so fair trade-off? Fair trade-off. Cool. Let's get back into this. The afternoon light works pretty well. I was afraid it would look too flat, but it's not like that after all. I think it's actually pretty interesting. I wanted to see what it looks like in dim light. Do you think it's flat? Well, paintings tend to be flat. Not like that. You know, flat. Like some people are no substance, no meat where there should be some. Why is it? It keeps double skipping. I know a few girls who... Okay, I get it, but I couldn't really tell. I'm not that good with art. I can't name any artists or artistic terms, so I don't really have anything to say. Green shrugs her shoulders at that, saying, "Suit yourself," without saying it, and looks up at the sky as if trying to look for something up there. I didn't think I'd get any actual work done, but if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little before it's too dark. I wanted to get a halogen lamp, like the ones they have at the sports track, but there aren't any. Rin sure is quick to recruit my help, as was Shizune. It really makes me feel that the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed. Why not? I'm not really sure if I can be any help, though. It's just mixing some paints. You can do that, probably. Do you have motor control problems? Like, you know, those people who have some? Cerebral palsy, maybe? Not that I know of. I get it. Heart thingy has nothing to do with that. She gives me a sly look for no reason. No, it doesn't. Let's do it then. I'll be right back. Sorry. And I'm back. Thank you for that. So she sits on an empty wooden box and very naturally picks up the wide brush between her toes of her bare right foot. I open a few of the cans and pour some of the contents into shallow bowls for mixing. The thick paints flow lazily from one can to the bowl like syrup. I mix them, creating funny, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other to form a new monotone hue. Hue. Rain sets to work, every now and then asking me for a hand with something or the other. Dots. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to be the exact tone the girl is apparently seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal. She wants precision down to the last millimeter before she is satisfied, but her instructions are obscure at best. Add half a splash of green. I crouch down to pick up the can of bright green. The other green. This green. I carefully pour some of the other green paint into the mixing bowl. Oh, that's almost a whole splash. More white. Is green a good color to add? No idea. You're the artist here. A hint of smile appears in the corners of her mouth. Do you lack an opinion? No, it's just that I have no idea. It's okay, because I just got an idea. Add more white. With this explanation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the bowl and mix it. It looks slightly whiter? That's not good. It has to be like the color when you wake up and you know that you saw the meaning of life in your dream but can't remember it. Maybe it's yellow. Despite the impossibility of mixing a color like the change of seasons or any other nonsense that would be imposed on me, I find myself enjoying it more than I thought I would. Time passes. Seeing a painting being born on the plastered wall feels like magic. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints crouching down on the paving Oh my god. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints, crouching down on the paving, and just looking at her work. It feels slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy, but Reen doesn't seem to mind the least bit. Maybe it's just in my head. Her entire presence emits a completely different air as she patiently works the details, adding layers of paint on top of other layers of paint, steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. When I manage to produce a passable mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from the few words when discussing paint mixes, neither of us say a word for the longest time. Allergies are getting worse. And even those short discussions soon evolve into shorthand, both of us developing and using weird impromptu code words for various paints and hues, as if there were some need to conserve words and breath and sound. Ugh, sorry. We stay there late into the evening until it becomes too dark to paint properly. Hey, another little heart circle. Use this time to take a drink. The sound of an alarm pulls me out of a fitful slumber and into the unpleasant state of wakefulness. I linger under the blanket for a few minutes, gathering energy to rise up while making excuses as for why I haven't already. Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying here for all day. School is surprisingly exhausting after a long pause, and the culture shock still has not faded, I think. Still, despite getting an impression that skipping class is easy here, I don't think they are going to let me get away with that easily. And the nurse is bound to keep breathing down my neck with the talk of exercising as well. So eventually I do rise up, swallow the morning medications, and put on my old soccer clothing. Thanks to my condition, I was exempted from taking part in gym class at Yamaku, so I didn't get issued with a gym outfit. I'd ordered some to cover such a contingency, but wearing my old soccer clothes is kind of nostalgic. I can't use them for that anymore, so maybe they can get a new life this way, a bit like me. After all, if I'm going to start taking care of myself, I can't afford to slack around. I'll start from the basics. God damn. Basics which include keeping the rest of my body in shape along with what little I can do to strengthen my heart. Maybe then I can go back to something approaching a normal life, or at least something where I'm less likely to fall over dead at any minute. I'm surprised to discover that... Oh my god. Excuse me. I'm surprised to discover that I'm not the only person present at the track. Not just that, but it's a face I've seen before. The prosthetic leg girl who bowled me over in the hallway yesterday is running on the track lithely, like a half-mechanical gazelle. What was her name again? It was a short one, but I can't remember. She seems to be running laps at a somewhat easy lope, her prosthetic legs clacking rhythmically on the hard track surface. I wonder what reason she has for running this early in the morning. Maybe it's something akin to mine, and the nurse is oppressing the poor girl to jog just like he's oppressing me. I'm sorry, my head's just like gotten into this entire spin. I certainly wouldn't be here if it weren't for my health, and is prompting me to do so. And even with things being like they are, it's only because I wanted to get out of get out of the way early. Or I wanted to get it out of the way early. The fact that I would be less likely to encounter someone who would witness my pitiful attempts to get in shape was merely a happy accident. I leave, but it seems that my former assailant noticed me on her last lap. She waves at me cheerfully and jogs over. Good morning. Your name is Hisao, right? She grins, seemingly pleased that she'd remembered my name. You may not remember me. Emmy, I knocked you over in the hall yesterday. Miss Ibarazaki? I'm gonna get your name right on the first time sooner or later. But in the meantime, that's a fucking face. She imitates Misha imitating Shizune, failing to get the same kind of subdued lilt into her high-pitched voice. How could I forget such blunt introduction? Emmy has the decency to look vaguely apologetic for a moment before giggling. Yeah, sorry about that again. Well, so long as you don't make a habit of it, I suppose I'll be fine. Great! I'm not sure she realized I was joking. So the spy consultant the nurse was talking about, is that actually you? That's right. Oh. I was expecting someone from the nursing staff, to be honest. What? Are you saying I don't look like I could be a spy? No. This is more like a relief. I was afraid you would have someone to watch my every move. Unless you're here to do exactly that. No, I'm here for my own reasons. The nurse just asked me if I had seen a messy-haired transfer student who looks like he's kinda lost around the track. So why are you down here? Emmy strikes a dramatic pose. Training! For what? Track! Ah, I see. You're on the track team then. Emmy nods enthusiastically. Yep, I'm one of the better runners too. I'm sorry. That's mean of me. And modest about it too. Hey, you should join up. It's good exercise, you know. I think that much activity is probably out of the question for me. I'm not even sure that I really like running all that much. Plus, I'm not into organized sports, you know. It's true. I never even really got that much into soccer. I mean, I'd run around with my friends and all, but that was really the only reason I ever played. It wasn't for the glory to be found on the field, that's for sure. Emmy seems to understand my meaning. I see. Not that into the whole organization thing. But now that you are here, I guess we're gonna run together, huh? What? Sure, I guess. Emmy seems pleased. Are you gonna warm up? Real men don't warm up. That's false. Real men do warm up because they don't want to hurt themselves. Oh no, you always should warm up. Bad Hisao. She scolds me enthusiastically, but then smiles and leans closer. I hate warming up too. She laughs suddenly. Heck, I don't even have to stretch my legs. As if to confirm her statement, she bounces up and down a couple of times, giving a passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem to be quite elastic. Let's go! Oh, look, motion blur. To emphasize that we're running. So we both take off around the track, and I can immediately see that she wasn't lying about being good at running. Emmy moves fluidly, throwing herself into the run with a sort of wild abandon. I find myself concentrating more on running properly. Hands spread, right? And something about hitting the balls of your feet rather than the heels. I try to match my stride to Emmy's, but it's pretty difficult. Apparently I'm not very good at it. Maybe Emmy could help me with that sometime. I'm really not feeling up for more than a couple of laps today, and slow to a walk pretty quick. Emmy keeps running and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily in the contrast to my own somewhat gasping demeanor. Finished already? I hang my head ruefully. Yeah. I'm not in very good shape right now. Emmy nods and then grins at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling. Well, the important thing is you started, right? Next time you just have to try and hold out longer, and then longer, and longer, and eventually you'll be great. I'll keep that in mind. But I think right now I'm gonna get ready for class. Shouldn't you? Emmy shrugs unconcernedly. Nah, I've got plenty of time. I noticed that she's not wearing a watch. Are you sure? Another careless shrug. Not really, but I've got to finish my routine. See you later, Hisao. Yeah, see you later. I'm not sure whether this morning's experiment was a success or a failure, but I'll admit that I do feel slightly good about getting out there this morning. And like Emmy said, just need to keep at it in order to get better, right? Practice makes perfect, or something like that. It's nice at least to feel like I've taken some semblance of control over my own health. I'll have to try and keep this up. Alright, that's a little over 15 minutes, so we're going to call it an episode there. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.